Time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. All about control. And if you can take it, all about your debt. And if you can
buy this car to drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work.
Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and we are going to do part 2 of this little inauthenticity, and I guess a little bit less inauthenticity. Or are they just both inauthentic, but just different versions of it? Even different motives or reasons. That's what I think. But before I get started, don't forget to share, support, or hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Please do it. Do it. Share them. Donate to them. Do all that you can. All right. So part 2, we're going to play the video of where the most notorious argument for Rogan and Crowder. It's the marijuana topic. And we're kind of going to leave off where we were before. And don't worry, I rewinded to the part where he's like, "Oh, so like you were full of shit about the Colorado thing." And this is going to be Rogan showcasing that something real happens and Rogan sees it and he smells it. I don't know why it's marijuana is the thing that raises him out of his seat, but it does. And he's just like, I know, this is a topic I look at. You are so absolutely full of it on this. And he's trying to you can hear Crowder trying to cover his tracks. You'll hear it because it's interesting. I didn't write it. On your website. Listen, I don't even care about this topic. All right, here we go.
And that's what a lot of people proved you're full of shit about Colorado and traffic deaths. Should we go and fuck you up with this too?
Yeah. When you have your guy looking up sources.
You feel bad about the Colorado thing at all?
What? I never said Colorado.
Those are questions I want to hear. You do something so horrible, it may sound like, no, it's just marijuana. It's innocent. Trust me. It's like looking at it and you're like, do you work for someone to be saying this type of shit? To where it's like, do you feel bad about saying that? Because it's right. They're talking about actual deaths happening, right? And if it's if marijuana has some sort of not only just straight up physical health thing, less likely to be impaired to fuck shit up, or straight up if there's health benefits for it, and you have this guy going out of his way to advocate against it, then it's what are you doing then? Something that could help people, and you're advocating strongly against it. He's going to say, I didn't write the article, but come on, bro. You have a narrative, you push a narrative. Rogan's aware of it, I'm fucking aware of it. This is not some sort of out of nowhere thing. This is a trend with Steven Crowder. Well, I hesitate to call him Steven Crowder because I'm is there a fucking person there? Who are you? Who are you? Is any part of actual you being expressed at any point in your fucking life? Other than the creepy dreams you probably have about some darker shit we don't know about. I'm just considering that as a possibility. That's all I'm saying. So... Let's play more. Here we go.
Colorado. I said states that legalize marijuana.
What other ones are there?
Well, you didn't bring up the source that I wrote about.
All right, well, I can.
But the fact that you're...
Let me rewind a little bit. Because here's why, if you really think about it, the logic, it is dishonesty. Either that or it's so stupid that you don't even realize what you're doing. See, what Crowder's going to say is something like, well, I'm not against marijuana. I mean, I think it should be up to the states. But then if you put out propaganda against it, you're trying to convince voters not to support it or their state legislation. So, like, come on. Like, hey, John, you're allowed to, your house, you're allowed to smoke weed in it. I'm just gonna, stand outside your house with signs and shit saying, I heard marijuana smokers are kind of pedophiles too. Like, wait a minute, what? I'm not forcing you not to smoke. I'm just doing everything in your environment to stop you. Essentially. Super duper dishonest. That's the literal logic of that statement. Come on, bro. It should be up to the states, but then you're trying to convert voters to your thinking. And please, I don't want to hear anybody say, Crowder doesn't try to convert anyone to his way of thinking. Whoa. Someone got a dose of Crowder in their fucking childhood. Pause. There we go.
When you have your guy looking
You
up
feel
sources.
bad about the Colorado thing at all?
What? I never said Colorado. I said states that legalize marijuana.
What other ones are there?
Well, you didn't bring up the source that I wrote about.
All right, well, I can.
But the
eat
fact that
up
you're
if
still
you
hung
want.
up on
Hold,
it.
please. Hold, please. What?
I got the.
You didn't bring up my source. Who's your source? Someone I hired? I know. That's his worst night. Like, no, we can just do this. And you're going to see in the third video, I end up bringing up, where Crowder's like, I can't. The TV was broken. I can't check the sources and all that. In this thing, Rogan's like, oh, here's my laptop. Here, use it. Here's you. Go do your research. It's like, oh, you little weaselly fuck. Rogan knows it, and that's when it gets into Rogan's inauthenticity. But for now, let's keep going.
I wrote about.
All right, well, I can.
But the
eat
fact
up
that you're
if you
still
want.
hung up on
Hold,
it.
please. Hold, please. What?
I got the article.
Hey,
I've been looking at it for.
You're not going to bully a killer, Crowder. Why are you still hung up on this? What do you think that was going to, like... Is that going to shame me into not looking this up? You fucking said something. We're going to address it. What the... Why are you so hung up on this? What are you, obsessed? Yeah, that doesn't move me. Let's keep going with this discussion. Now what? Yeah, come on.
Said Colorado. I said
Please have
states that
Jamie.
legalize
What other
marijuana.
ones
Yeah.
are
You have
there?
Jamie
Well,
too.
you didn't
Ask
bring
him to
up
look
the
someone
source
up
that I
for
wrote
you.
about.
All right, well, I can.
But the
eat
fact
that
that
up
you're
if
still
you
hung
want.
up on
fair.
it.
Hold, please. What?
I got the article. I've been looking at it for like the last few minutes on your website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
It's all right,
couple
keep
statements
pausing
that are really
the video,
bad
guys.
just off the gate, like this right here. If you want to get high, you're a moron.
Well,
And
this is-
getting
this
high
is-
will
this is
make
a
you
joke.
more of a
That's
moron.
Not, that's not a
But
news
hold on.
article.
Right.
Hold on, please.
That's commentary.
But, hold on, but fine. After all, things like Coachella wouldn't exist. Is this your article?
Yeah.
I think it's an article on my site.
Oh, wait a minute. If you want to get high, you're a moron?
Yeah, I think
You
Courtney
really
believes
think
that,
you're
yeah.
a moron?
I think
If you
Courtney
get
believes
high?
that, yeah.
Who's Courtney?
She
works
probably
for
one
you?
of the best writers I think I've ever encountered.
How dare you not read then?
But so then the article links to a couple, like this, for instance, is one.
He knows there's no way out of this. Like, either, like, one of the most brilliant writers you know, well, clearly you have to say that because she works for you. And then Rogan's like, but you don't read her shit? But she's brilliant. Gotcha. I think the title's a bit of a joke. I bet you didn't think this topic was going to fucking show. Yeah. Crowder thought this was going to be just free promotion for his fucking channel. Get away with whatever the fuck. Nothing controversial will happen. I don't have to debate Joe Rogan. And there is no running away like he's done with other people. Other less known people who are just like, hey, what about this question here about your thinking? Oh, no, I got a meeting to go to. Bye. Can't do that here. Rogan has fuck you money at this point. I know Dana White. I'll get you a private plane. Take you back. You don't need the me. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, buddy. Yeah, I'll take it. We could talk the whole drive too. All right, here we go. It's like, this is what I'm talking about with Roy. If he wanted to fuck people up, like, intellectually, no question he could do it. And there's no excuses. No excuses to where, like, no, I'll pay you to be here. Come on. I'll pay for your flight. Come on. I'm a 100 millionaire. Rich, bitch. Here we go.
I think
If you
Courtney
get
believes
high,
that, yeah.
Who's Courtney?
She
works
probably
for
one
you?
of the best writers I think I've ever encountered.
How dare you not read then?
But so then the article links to a couple, like this, for instance, is one that says it has deadliest year of traffic fatalities since 2008.
Yeah.
This article doesn't say anything about marijuana, not one thing. Doesn't mention weed at once. It does say that it could be attributed to
Could be
lower gas
weather.
prices, people driving more,
It
more
does.
people in the state,
Sure.
et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera.
Well,
But
more
that's not,
people in
first
the
off, that's not the
state
only thing. Hold on a
is a
second. No,
huge
this is
issue.
important. I'm going to defend myself here because you have someone here at the ready, and what you do is instead of bringing up information, this is what happens with Christopher Titus, right? You don't have information that you bring up. You have another guy look up a source that you specifically want him to find.
I didn't ask him to bring that up.
Yes,
He just
you
brought
did.
it
And he
up.
brought up Washington Post and goes, "This is what's wrong with your article," taking a
No, he
joke
had,
out
he
of
had
context.
already been talking. You didn't have a joke.
The joke in there about things like Coachella wouldn't exist if there weren't.
Okay,
That's clearly
her
a joke.
in that article.
That's a joke.
Right, but
to try and go, do you think people who smoke pot are morons? No, it's a joke.
Okay.
Let's not do that. Let's
Okay.
not do that.
Well, and no, pot's not comparable to alcohol. There are tests that determine how much alcohol
Right.
content is in your bloodstream. We can't yet do that with weed, so it's impossible to handle these incidents in the same way.
That's
but
pretty
there
fair.
but there have been tests where they showed people
But that
drunk.
would go back to what he said and what
But
you
there
said.
have been tests where they've shown people drunk versus on marijuana, and the people on marijuana drove far better.
Okay.
That's true.
So this is also
Right?
anecdotal.
No,
but
these are
It goes back
tests.
to your point, right?
But these are tests.
Let's say someone has alcohol
Are
in their
these
system.
tests?
Well, I haven't read your test.
Okay, so
But
why
I-
are you
I-
arguing against them?
No, I'm saying I agreed with your point earlier.
Oh yeah, like you're arguing against something. Like, why are you arguing against it then? You should be like, oh, let me see that study, then let me argue against it. But no, pre-planned, pre-packaged, pre-made arguments and talking points. That's what super duper grifter or worse, dishonest or maybe brainwashed motherfuckers do. They argue a point before they hear the point. That's unreal. Right, and that wasn't like a let me pick out Rogan's logic here. That's not one of those type of things where it's like, oh, I see that immediately, let me counter it. This was there was a study that said this. No, like wait a minute, you got to see the study first before you just say. And Rogan will offer him a laptop to do. Hey, yeah, you could do this. I need not Gage Air to do it for me. You have Jamie doing this for you. Come on, bro. Turning into a child.
Total.
No,
But
these are
It
tests.
goes back to your point, right?
But these are tests.
Let's say someone has alcohol
Are
in their
these
system.
tests?
Well, I haven't read your test.
Okay, so
But
why are you arguing against them?
No, I'm saying I agreed with your point earlier.
So why are you saying they're
No,
anecdotal?
well, it is anecdotal if you're saying some people drive better on marijuana
No,
than
I'm
alcohol.
not saying that. I've said there have been tests where they've shown that people drive better on marijuana
anyway.
than alcohol. That's
If you
not
want- if you want-
anecdotal.
my point is, if you
no,
want to
you're
smoke
looking.
weed, go
You're
ahead.
looking to be really good at this argument
No,
here.
no, I'm
You
not.
need to settle down.
You said you wouldn't pile on, and you got two people.
I'm not
A rule-
piling
yeah,
down. He's
yeah,
not
it is.
talking.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
He's
it
not
is.
talking. He
Actually,
brought
I have
something
a rule
up.
when someone
He brought
comes on
up
the show.
facts.
When someone comes on the show, Jared cannot interject.
Congratulations, you're not
Cannot
on the show.
interject.
And all he did was pull up
No,
some
no,
fucking
two
information.
people bringing up information. Me without a laptop.
No, he brought it
After
up. I
said,
talked
I'm not
about
gonna
it.
stop
He didn't even
After I
talk
said-
about it.
You said, what would be the one thing that you've changed your mind on that
Is
you
there
would
a
look
problem
back?
when two people are correct and you're incorrect? Does that bother you?
I don't agree that you're.
I'm not sure it bothers him. Yeah, that would be an out, by the way. But I think it's less that it bothers him. It's more of what he's trying to protect.
Me without a laptop.
No, he brought it
After
up.
I
I
said,
talked
no, I'm not
about
gonna
it.
stop
He didn't even
After I
talk
said-
about it.
You said, what would be the one thing that you've changed your mind on that
Is
you
there
would
a
look
problem
back?
when two people are correct and you're incorrect? Does that bother you?
I don't agree that you're correct.
What are you talking about? You just pulled up some statistics that show that Colorado has less traffic fatalities
No, I didn't.
since
I didn't pull up
2000.
any statistics.
No, he did.
You had,
you
well, you
saw
just said
them.
you. You just
Okay,
said
well,
you.
I will
So,
give
no,
you
that's
my
not
laptop.
correct.
I'll turn my laptop
That's
your
not
way,
correct.
and you can pull up some shit that shows contrary
You said, what is
evidence.
the issue that you would care about the least that you've changed your mind
I
on?
don't even have a laptop. Here's my laptop. Well, I need my special keyboard, okay? Yeah.
Colorado has less traffic fatalities
No, I didn't.
since
I didn't pull up
2000.
any statistics.
No, he did.
You had, well, you
saw
just said
them.
you. You just
Okay,
said
well,
you.
I will
So,
give
no,
you
that's
my
not
laptop.
correct.
I'll turn my laptop
That's
your
not
way,
correct.
and you can pull up some shit that shows contrary
You said,
evidence.
what is the issue that you would care about the least that you've changed your mind on? I said, probably wouldn't even talk about pot.
That's a long version of what you said.
And
what
then
you
you said, well, why?
was there have been more fatalities since marijuana has been legal in those
In
states.
all the things we've discussed,
It's not true.
Why are you so obsessed with the pot issue?
Because you're not right.
What do the kids call that? Gaslighting? why are you so stupid about this topic? Why do you care so much about this topic? He's like, meanwhile, you're like, I thought we were in the middle of arguing this topic. Fuck. He just went on his, like, so I'm supposed to sit here, let you get all these bullshit talking points that Rogan sees through. He's like, no, this is about some political ideology, team playing bullshit. That's why you're falling on the certain side, this side of the argument. That's why you do shit. Like, at least that's what I think Rogan's notion of it is. Like, oh no, you're a little team playing bitch. I can smell this. So I have to. When it comes to a topic that I talk about a lot on my pod, like the benefits of marijuana, he talks about that on his show. And it's like you just have some guests come in, give me empty talking points that are trying to like dispel that. Come on, bro.
What you said.
And
what
then
you
you said, well, why?
Was there been more fatalities since marijuana has been legal in those
In
states?
all the things we've discussed,
It's not true.
Why are you so obsessed with the pot
Because
issue?
you're not right, and it doesn't matter if we've talked about it for 4
So
hours. In this instance, you are incorrect. You know you're incorrect.
No, I'm not incorrect in that instance. That traffic fatalities have increased in areas where pot have increased. We did the same study in Michigan where pot was legalized and people were actually selling more marijuana to underage kids. I don't care if they do it.
that doesn't have anything to do with traffic fatalities.
It does have to do with it.
It doesn't have anything to do with.
See, he just like that whole thing, and then he's like, I don't want to argue. Why do you care so much about this? I thought you. Wait a minute. Isn't that fucking weird? And then as soon as Rogan speaks, like, we'll probably debunk this too. He's probably in his mind like, probably full of shit. We'll probably look up information and find out like, oh, empty statement. But here we go.
In this instance, you are incorrect. You know you're incorrect.
No, I'm not incorrect in that instance. That traffic
you know
fatalities
you're
have increased in areas where
incorrect.
pot have
And you're
increased.
still going.
We did the same study in Michigan where pot was legalized and people were actually selling more marijuana to underage kids. I don't care if they do it.
That doesn't have anything to do with traffic fatalities.
It does have to do with it.
It doesn't have anything to do with traffic fatalities unless you can prove there's more traffic fatalities in underage kids since marijuana has been legal.
Yeah, there have been several articles that have made that claim, made that assertion.
Let's find them.
We've written about it.
Let's find them.
They all come from one article mostly, and it's from these AAA stats. And this is the stats that they said. And it's almost all the articles you're talking about come from this one article.
Okay, so it says the percentage of drivers involved in fatal crashes who recently used marijuana more than.
By the way, Jamie knows he's full of shit too. You can hear it in his voice. Like everything you just said, we all found in just this one lonely article. You know, Jamie smells that too.
The stats that they said, and it's almost all the articles you're talking about come from this one article.
Okay, so it says the percentage of drivers involved in fatal crashes who recently used marijuana more than doubled from 8 to 17% from 2013 to 2014.
Yeah.
1 in 6 drivers involved in fatal crashes from 2014 had recently used marijuana, which is the most recent data available. Now, do you understand that causation does not equal
involving marijuana
correlation?
is alarming.
Yeah, says who?
That's an opinion.
It's an opinion.
President and CEO of AAA Foundation.
Yeah,
for
he says
Traffic
it's
Safety.
alarming. Well, is that a matter of more people smoking marijuana because it's legal, or it's?
I just noticed something. Crowder's gonna say that the TVs didn't work in this other video we're gonna watch soon, probably part 3. He said like, Jamie's looking stuff up, and the TV's not even working, so I can't even read what's on screen. I'm pretty sure he says that, but we'll find out.
Well, is that a matter of more people smoking marijuana because it's legal, or is it a matter of the marijuana causing these accidents?
Is this not an article put out by AAA?
Do you know what else is true? That all these people also had alcohol in their system. Do you know that?
Well, no, I don't. We don't know that all of them had alcohol in their system.
It's a giant percentage of people that were involved in these accidents.
Do you know this to be true?
No, I know this because I've read these studies.
All of them had alcohol in their system.
There's my in. There we go. Yeah.
I didn't say that.
You
I
just
said
said all.
a lot of them.
Rewind the tape.
Maybe
all.
I did say all. A lot of them.
Well, you made a lot of assumptions.
That's what you're supposed to do. Oh shit, maybe I did say all. I meant most of them. Anyway, yeah, let's continue on because that'd literally be some. Here we go. As opposed to like, what does Rogan actually mean to say? You spelt that
Let's
wrong.
find out.
It doesn't say anything in the article about alcohol, though, and for sure they should have tested that and put that information in there.
They should, and for sure they can't test.
Well,
By the way,
just
I'm talking with
Google
2 guys
how
who
many
just
people
smoked up a joint.
Just Google.
And are
What
mad
does
that
that
I
have
made
to do with anything?
It makes a point that you're going to have an obvious position that would disagree.
See how it's not about the information. These guys just smoked a joint, and they're in favor of weed, so that's why. This guy works hard for having the appearance of being able to do something, not the actual thing itself. That's why when you watch this Change My Mind, it's like, is that really the complete argument on this topic? No. And the times he does get more of a complete argument, it's 30 videos of Crowder gets destroyed with thousands of views and shit like that. Even our stupid rinky-dink video got like a shit ton of views. He's here for the image of being correct. Holy shit. I got to say it again. If you're a fan, I'll forgive you if it's just the comedy, even though the comedy's weak. Bro. Comedy's kind of weak. But if you like wholesome comedy, okay. Trust me, it's wholesome. They don't know that. They didn't grow up with South Park and all that shit. Realize if Crowder says fuck, it's not. Yeah, it's adult. No, this is wholesome Disney shit. Real with you. Plus with, right-leaning ideology sprinkled throughout, which kills the comedy even more because it's like, one of the best things about comedy is authenticity. Guy just machine built by someone else. There we go.
And put that
They should,
information
and
in
for
there.
sure they can't test.
Well,
By
but
the way,
just
I'm talking with
Google
two guys
how
who
many
just
people-
smoked up a joint.
Just Google.
So
what?
are mad
What does that
I
have
made
to do with anything?
It makes a point that you're going to have an obvious position.
Here, Jay.
That
What the
would
fuck does
disagree
that have
with
to do with
this
anything?
one single article. So if I can finish a point, you've talked about interruption. Let me finish the one point that I'm making.
Well, you've
you
already
can't
been
test
proven.
for marijuana.
You've already been
You can't
proven.
test for marijuana roadside, right? Can we agree on
No,
that?
you absolutely can.
You
yeah,
can?
there's new tests. Yes,
Okay, there's new tests.
that are
How
available
recent are
right
these
now.
tests?
Let's find
2014?
out. Let's
Yeah.
find out. Before you do
But
that,
they
though,
didn't test, like you said.
How many of the marijuana-related fatalities also involved alcohol? Because it's a massively significant percentage.
Yeah.
So you can't necessarily say that just because they have these new tests for marijuana, especially roadside marijuana.
That's the problem. Is you can't. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll give you that.
What are you giving me?
Let's say you're correct.
But here's the thing:
So let's say
it
you're
doesn't
correct.
physiologically, it doesn't have an effect on motor skills the way alcohol does, where it doesn't slow down your
Let's say you're correct, so we don't have to argue if you're correct and I'm incorrect.
response time.
Well, I know
It's
that
not the same.
we've had several doctors on the show, two of whom had differing opinions on that.
They don't have to be right.
They don't have to be right.
opinions of it. Do they
They have
smoke
opinions.
marijuana themselves? Do they know what it's like?
now,
have
we're
they
getting, now
studied?
we're getting to this whole
Have they
if you haven't
studied
smoked
all the
marijuana.
different CBS News caught blatantly distorting cannabis studies says
This
legal
comes
pot
from-
doubles fatal
This
car
comes
crashes.
from Mint Press News. So again, we can go into questioning sources all day long if you have someone else.
Nothing to do with the information that's there. Rogan's seeing all this with his eye. Like, you need to keep that in mind. As much as Rogan is scorching him here, he's seeing all this happen. He's seeing the bullshit little, the dishonest fucking pivots. He's seeing the rhetoric, why do you care so much? Meanwhile, like, if he has a point to make, he'll fucking say it because he thinks he's right. Like, yeah, but what about Michigan? I thought we weren't caring that much about it 5 seconds ago. I want to be able to say my information. How am I supposed to look it up? And here's my laptop. But you have Jamie. Rogan sees all this. Come on, bro. He used to make it a point of emphasis that he could sniff out bullshit and bullshitters. Even if he's just like, man, something's off with this guy. Rogan used to say shit like that and be like, I used to be really good at it too. It goes away, probably for convenience. Thus, authenticity suffers. It means you got to hold your tongue in certain scenarios. Kiss some ass. And I don't care what the reasons are. It doesn't have to be for money. I'm pretty sure he was well off anyways. It could be for the sake of. Or I just want to be nice. I want to be a nice guy. We'll get into Rogan later. Here we go.
else bringing up
You don't
sources.
think this is a good source? You think
Maybe
they're
it
lying?
is. Maybe it is. Let's
It's not
say you're
Lotto with
right.
Crowder, but
Let's say you're right. Well, a lot of Crowder, we source that to something else.
I know. And
You guys
I
are
look,
He fucking shavy shit. It's not louder with Crowder. He just fucking shits on him. Like, come on, bro. They're all looking at you. Now this guy's like a right-wing cultural icon now. When he's a joke back here. He's a fucking, like, laugh at him joke. Like, dude, you're silly. We know what you're about. You're silly as fuck. Now he's an icon. He's a culture warrior champion. You lit this. Continue.
Questioning sources all day long if you have someone else bringing up
You don't
sources.
think this is a good source? You think
Maybe
they're
it
lying?
is. Maybe it is. Let's
It's
say
not
you're
Lauder with
right.
Crowder, but
Let's say you're right. Well, Lauder with Crowder, we sourced that to something else.
I know. And
You guys
I
are
look up
so
your
defensive
sources.
on one issue, and you said,
Hold
what's
on.
the issue you don't care
I
about?
have your
Stop
sources
ganging
right
up
here. I've
on
looked them up.
me.
There's people online also sourcing them. They are skewed. You're skewing them to make
And
your
so is the
case.
Washington Post study that you skewed.
But you're not.
What did Jamie just say there? You are skewing this to make yourself look right. Well, so does the Washington Post. Imagine that as an answer, and you're not like, okay, get the fuck out of here. Shouldn't do that either, but you know what I mean. Old Rogan would be like, you're full of shit. I'm done arguing with you. He might have said some shit like that, like, go away. Like, kick him off live on air. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You're not here for like a conversation. Leave. Unreal, he just said that. Yeah, but you're using this shit to skew things. Also, does the Washington Post? That should be a like death knell.
Hold on.
What's the issue you don't care
I
about?
have your
Pot.
sources right here. I've looked them up. There's people online also sourcing them. They are skewed. You're skewing them to make
And
your
so is the
case.
Washington Post study that you skewed.
But you're not the Washington Post. You're supposed to be the answer to the Washington Post.
I'm not the answer to the
You're
Washington
not,
Post.
Don't
We're
say that
op-ed.
someone's evil, so I'm evil too.
Well, you just said that.
Is that what you're saying?
That's the argument that you just made.
No, I didn't make
You
that
did make
argument.
that
You just said, come
This is too exposing to go back from, which is going to showcase. Listen to all the things being said. This is going to showcase Rogan's inauthenticity. Because you're caught in many of things all happening in this one conversation. And it's like, can't go back from that. It wasn't like, I got that number wrong. Or I said the wrong word here. Or I meant this, but, these words came out instead. That's not that. That's straight up like, you're caught in a lie. Now you're admitting you were lying. And your only reasons are, you guys care too much about this. Or those guys lie too. Or whatever the fuck. Well, it's so transparent.
I
about
have your
pot.
sources right here. I've looked them up. There's people online also sourcing them. They are skewed. You're skewing them to make
And
your
so is the
case.
Washington Post study that you skewed.
But you're not the Washington Post. You're supposed to be the answer to the Washington Post.
I'm not the answer to the Washington Post.
Don't
We're
say that
op-ed.
someone.
You advertise yourself as this, though. Are you lying?
Someone's evil, so I'm evil too.
Well, you just said that.
Is that what you're saying?
That's the argument that you just made.
No, I didn't make
You
that
did make
argument.
that
You just
argument.
said, come on,
You
man.
just made that argument, and all of a sudden, when someone mentions pot, you
When-
put on
when
the
you're
ideologue
saying
hat
this-
where
what-
your worldview
what
is
is
through
that?
the lens of weed.
No, dude.
And you get upset
I'm
with anyone
calling
having
you
a
out
different
on
opinion.
bullshit. It has nothing to do with weed.
Yeah, but you haven't
I
made
would
an
call
argument.
I haven't made an argument. You said
You've
that
said
the
your studies are
fatalities
sourced.
increased. We showed you what
We
happened in
wrote about it.
Colorado.
What have you shown me?
We showed you the statistics that
Okay.
show that marijuana and traffic violations they
may
correlates
not be,
to less
may not be causal,
accidents.
right? You've your
May
argument
not
is
be
it may
caused.
not be caused.
Okay, so what else is causing the dropped number? And why can't
what's
you
causing
show
the increase in number?
What increase? This fake increase
From
that
fake,
you're
we're
bringing
doing
up?
fake news.
It's
Is
not
that what we're doing?
real. It's not real. Colorado shows it's not real.
That's
So
not-
where is it real?
Well, this comes from his AAA study that was AAA and Trustee Safety Council.
AAA is owned by the Bilderberg Group, bro.
Oh, God.
You don't even know this.
So now we're going to go to weed cures cancer and people having meetings with ram's heads.
You've got one article that says one thing,
I know.
and one
Joe.
article from Colorado that says there's been
Yeah, Rogan could have said like, well, that thing was real, right?
a decrease in traffic fatalities.
Right.
You're not willing to recognize that.
I just said, let's give that to you. Because this entire conversation started with you saying, what issue would you change your mind on?
No,
and I
it
said,
started,
probably pot. Because here's
no,
what I
this
think.
argument started with you saying that it causes more fatalities and traffic violations.
That's not true. That's not true. You said, which issue do you not care about?
Didn't
I
he
said
say that?
pot.
Didn't
and then
he
you
say
said
it causes
why?
more
You
traffic
said why?
fatalities?
What's your opinion on pot? And I said, I really don't care if people want to smoke pot. I think it's a state issue. I honestly don't care. I've changed my mind where as a kid I thought it was harmful. I don't think it's harmful
But
anymore.
didn't you say that it causes
And then
You didn't think that as a kid. Someone programmed you that way. Let's be real about that shit. Once again, obviously my opinion, but I'm stating it like it's a fact. Someone programmed this motherfucker to think that way. Okay, so some shit you never tried for, you know is bad for you. Know it. or whatever.
You
it was.
said
Traffic fatality.
Then
Come on,
you
your daddy
said,
raised you
well,
that
let's
way.
expand on this. What issue do you have with pot? I said, I don't like the dishonesty where people just say it cures cancer, it'll end the war on drugs, it's completely harmless, and I have some arguments
It's
that
not
it's not
harmless?
entirely. No, it's not entirely harmless.
Well,
it's not without consequences.
Well, consequences
and
based
I've given
on what?
you so much leeway there on
But
that one.
how have you? How have you?
It
Consequences
literally
based on
started
what?
from me saying I probably couldn't care less about this out of all the other issues that we discuss. And
But you feature the writing on, I guess, on your own website that you don't read, or whatever. It's like I said before, it's a state issue. I don't really care that much. But why would you work against it then? By one of your most brilliant writers. Come on, bro. He's a fucking poser through and through, or faker through and through, man. This just seems that way. All right. I'm going to end part 2 right there. And in part 3, we're going to go more over what Rogan's inauthenticity, how it seems to be shown. Please subscribe if you like, comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think. This guy a sociopath? I mean, is Rogan winning this argument? Come on, bro. I made a video, like a 1-minute video, like a little funny thing about Crowder being a psychopath. And then some girl on Twitter was like, he's an asshole, but he's not a psychopath. And I'm just like, are we sure about this? I have serious questions about it. Like, those are real questions. He's for sure a devil worshiper. That's 100% for sure in my mind. You take God and try to use him for your own means, you're a devil worshiper. Come on, bro. Try to take the notion of God and twist God's meaning or whatever the fuck. Like, purposely twist it for your own direction. Like, you're probably a devil worshiper. Come on, bro. That's what the devil would do. The devil would do. Yeah, tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links, all of them, in the description box. Check them out, share them, donate to them. Thank you. And with all that said, give this video a stat.
Say you wanna get in.